Most people only respect the results they can see, the success. But very few people truly respect the unseen work that created it. Because the unseen work is quiet. It's waking up early when nobody cares. It's repeating routines before they feel rewarding. It's continuing when emotions stop supporting the process. It's choosing discipline during ordinary days. And that is the part most people avoid. Because visible results feel exciting, but invisible repetition feels boring. That's why so many people become addicted to motivation. Motivation feels emotional. Motivation feels immediate. Motivation feels powerful. But real transformation is usually built through repetition that doesn't feel exciting at all. The unseen work is rarely glamorous. It's the workout nobody applauds, the studying nobody notices, the boundaries nobody understands, the healing nobody sees, the habits nobody celebrates yet. And that is where most people quit. Not because growth stopped working, but because the reward became delayed. Most people want visible progress immediately, but life usually tests whether you can continue before visible proof arrives. That's why discipline matters more than emotional intensity, because emotional intensity changes constantly. Some days you feel motivated. Some days you don't. Some days you feel clear. Some days you feel exhausted. But identity is not built from occasional emotional highs. Identity is built from repeated behavior. That is why small actions matter more than people realize. A repeated habit becomes a pattern. A repeated pattern becomes behavior. A repeated behavior becomes identity. And eventually people start calling you disciplined, when really they are witnessing accumulated repetition. But accumulation takes time, and time frustrates people. Because modern culture trains people to expect emotional stimulation constantly. Fast entertainment, fast validation, fast progress, fast rewards. But meaningful growth rarely happens quickly. The unseen work usually feels slow while it's happening. And that is dangerous for people who only trust visible progress. Because when results feel invisible, many people assume nothing is changing. But invisible progress is still progress. Roots grow underground before anything becomes visible above the surface. And the same thing happens psychologically. Confidence is often built invisibly first. Discipline is often built invisibly first. Mental resilience is often built invisibly first, long before the outside world notices anything. That's why comparison destroys so many people emotionally, because they compare somebody else's visible result to their own invisible process. They see the outcome, but not the repetition behind it. They see the confidence, but not the years of uncertainty. They see the success, but not the amount of unseen consistency required to create it. And because of that, many people underestimate how much repetition real transformation actually requires. People love dramatic moments, but most lives are changed through ordinary decisions repeated consistently. Choosing to continue, choosing to stay disciplined, choosing to remain focused, choosing to keep moving when emotions become unstable. That is the unseen work. And the uncomfortable truth is, most of it feels repetitive, not cinematic, not emotionally intense, not constantly rewarding, just repeated effort. That's why discipline often feels lonely initially, because the visible rewards usually arrive later. And before those rewards arrive, people around you may not understand what you are doing. Some may even question it, because from the outside, repetition can look pointless before results become visible. But eventually repetition compounds, and suddenly people call it talent, when really they are seeing accumulated consistency. Most people underestimate consistency because individual actions feel small. One workout feels small. One boundary feels small. One disciplined decision feels small. One difficult conversation feels small. But repeated actions create momentum, and momentum eventually changes identity. That's why the unseen work matters, because your life is usually shaped more by repeated ordinary behavior than occasional emotional intensity. Anybody can move temporarily when emotions feel strong. The real test begins when emotions stop cooperating. Can you still continue? Can you still move? Can you still stay disciplined? Can you still maintain standards? Because those moments reveal what was actually built internally. And most transformation happens internally before it becomes externally visible. That's another reason people quit too early. They stop during the invisible phase, the phase where growth is happening, but external proof hasn't appeared yet. And unfortunately, that phase is where most people lose patience, because the human mind wants reassurance. It wants evidence. It wants certainty. It wants visible progress. But the unseen work often requires movement without immediate validation. That is why emotional maturity matters. Because emotionally mature people understand that progress can exist before proof becomes visible. They understand that consistency compounds slowly, and they stop expecting transformation to feel exciting every day, because some days growth feels powerful, and other days it simply feels repetitive. But repetition is not failure. Repetition is usually the process, and eventually that process starts creating visible change. The body changes, the mindset changes, the standards change, the identity changes. But by the time the outside world notices, the transformation already started internally a long time ago. That is why the unseen work matters so much, because the life people admire publicly is usually built privately first, through repetition, through discipline, through invisible consistency, through ordinary choices repeated long enough to become identity. And for many people, that is the part they must learn to respect, because visible results are usually just delayed evidence of unseen work repeated long enough.